Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. Now a quick disclaimer, I'm not feeling so well this evening, so if you hear me sounding very congested or if I'm coughing, please bear with me. I don't know, I think I caught some kind of a flu. It is a Wednesday evening, December 4, 2024. Please ensure that you guys like the video. I'm trying to get at least 100 likes on this video. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please utilize the timestamps in the progress bar at the bottom of the video to skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most. We know that the videos here are very long. And utilize the timestamps in the comment section as well as the video description. Skip through the video. Don't watch the entire thing from start to finish if you have other things to do. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather's been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the 7-day forecast from the Euro model as well as the GFS model. As usual, we're going to be looking at the next 7 days in terms of what the Euro is showing across the Caribbean. And we have Jamaica right here. And we're going to be looking for all of this that we see on the key on the right. The greens, that represents the moisture, all the way up into the yellows, all the way up into the reds, represents anywhere from 1 all the way up to 6, all the way up to 16 inches of rainfall. First of all, we can definitely see the cloud, well, not the clouds, the moisture or the rainfall associated with the frontal system that has induced a trough into portions of the Caribbean right here. We can see the string of moisture stretching all the way from the northeastern portion of North Atlantic all the way down into the Caribbean. We're talking about the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica getting in on some of this moisture all the way down into Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. And we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days hold. So let's go out to the next one, just 68 hours. First of all, as we head into Thursday, we still see that we're going to be getting in on some rainfall across Jamaica. 9:00 on Thursday is 4 a.m. and we're still getting plagued with rainfall, especially across the north. We're talking about St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland especially. Going through the day on Thursday, still have a lot of moisture that's going to be plaguing the island. Heading into Friday, not much change, still some amount of rainfall expected. Saturday as well, and even as we head into Sunday, we're going to be getting in on some more rainfall according to this latest run of the Euro model that came out at 3 p.m. today. But look, we see that as we head into Monday now, we're seeing more whites, and most of the moisture is to the southwest and to the south of Hispaniola. We see that it's definitely a bit less than what we've been getting this week for sure. Definitely going to be letting up as we head into next week, Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday. We're going to be stopping right there at 168 hours. That's 12Z, which is actually 7 a.m. on Wednesday, December 11. But look at what's happening. Another cold front somewhere right here across the eastern United States, stretching all the way down into portions of the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. Very interesting. Let us see if the latest GFS is going to be showing something similar. Alright, so let us see what the latest global forecast system is showing that just came out an hour ago. First of all, Thursday, 18th on Thursday, December 5. We're seeing all the moisture across northern and eastern parishes for sure. Friday, not much change, rainfall still to come. Saturday, still getting in on some rainfall across Jamaica. Sunday, rainfall still to come. And then we see that the pattern is starting to definitely change on Monday. We see the ridge of high pressure building up in this section, bringing more of an easterly flow. So not much of a northeasterly flow that would have brought in that rainfall to northern Jamaica. Pattern is definitely shifting. So we see that the rainfall is not definitely confined to northern Jamaica anymore. As we head into Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, more of an easterly flow. And we're going to be stopping it right there at the end of 268 hours. And we're starting to see that cold front that the Euro was showing. but the Euro has it by Wednesday morning, more so across the northwestern Gulf. The GFS has it more so across the central Gulf, but still lashing portions of the southern and eastern United States. It's going to be interesting to see if this cold front actually makes it as far eastward as Jamaica, with some more strong winds and rainfall like what we're experiencing now across the northern portion of the island. But we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days hold. Let's say not necessarily the next 7 days. So we're talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the next 4 days, because after Sunday we're gonna be getting on less of this for sure, but this is still showing the rainfall that's to come over the next 4 days. We see that we still have all of the dark reds into the purples, into the pinks, into the peach colors, still expected for portion of Central America, northeastern Jamaica, northern Hispaniola, and eastern Cuba. We know all of that represents 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 7, maybe even 8 inches of rainfall, like what we're seeing on the key on the right. And even the GFS model is showing something similar at the very same spots. We're talking about southern Belize, northeastern Guatemala, northern Honduras, eastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica, northeastern Jamaica, eastern Cuba, northern Haiti, and northern Dominican Republic. And that could definitely cause some more landslides, if not some amount of flash flooding for sure. If we take a look at the close-up of Jamaica in terms of the accumulated precipitation forecast, we've been getting lashed all day since last night across especially Portland and St. Mary, and this is still showing what's to come. We still see all of the greens into the yellows, oranges, pinks, reds, and purples. That represents all the way up to 278 millimeters of rainfall still expected for sections of Portland. The GFS definitely still less robust than the Euro, all the way up to 164 millimeters of rainfall, but that could still very much cause some amount of flooding, if not some more landslides. So get ready for that. And we know some of this rainfall could definitely spill into sections of some southern parishes, as it already has been happening for sure. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see the blue spike lines right here that represents cold fronts. There's one right here to the north of Cuba, one right here that's having the tail end go right into the northern portion of Hispaniola, and we can see that this one has induced a trough. We see these broken orange lines stretching into Jamaica. That's a trough right there, and all of that is stretching across Jamaica with a lot of rainfall. A ridge of high pressure up here that we know is responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can make out all of these entities that we just mentioned. The clouds associated with the first cold front right here, and the clouds associated with the other cold front right here that has induced the trough into portions of Jamaica, as well as the southwestern Caribbean. We're talking about Nicaragua, Honduras as well. And we can see the low level flow of the clouds from east to west across the Caribbean into the main development, through the main development region into the Caribbean, all courtesy of the ridge of high pressure that's sending all of those winds to that direction. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean a little later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Wednesday, December 4, 2024. It was stated that more rain and windy conditions were in the forecast for parts of northern Jamaica on a Wednesday morning, and then some of this rainfall would have spilled into sections of some southern parishes. And we know northern Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. While southern Jamaica, now we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. And what ended up happening? As early as 9:21 a.m., the visible satellite images of Jamaica were posted here on our Twitter page, Weather Jamaica. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page, but they're also made on our Instagram page, weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page, Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page, Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as you may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we highlighted the clouds that were bringing some amount of overcast skies, if not some rainfall, to section of especially the northern portion of the island. Look at the flow from the northeast to the southwest into especially northern Jamaica. Portland is definitely covered. St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney as well, even into St. James and Hanover. And that was the order of the day for much of today. And some of these clouds definitely spilled into sections of some southern parishes. Definitely brought down the temperatures for sure across section of the island. The south coast, not so much unless you're in Manchester. Manchester is not naturally cool, but the other parishes not necessarily feeling the brunt of the cool temperature. Some people saying that it was hot today, some people saying that it was cool. Well, it was definitely cool on the north coast for sure, given the strong northeasterly winds and the cloudy conditions as well. And we even highlighted the windy conditions, stating the breeze are blow, highlighting the windy.com image showing the strong winds from the northeast into the gold colors that represents all the way up to 20, 25 to 30 knots, even gusting to gale force in some spots. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can definitely see the clouds definitely blanketing northern Jamaica for the most part. We're seeing more breaks in the clouds across the south coast. So we definitely saw more sky than cloud cover, but it was definitely cloudy, especially during the afternoon hours. But it was the north coast that was getting the brunt of the cloud cover, as well as some isolated showers underneath all of that. And if we take a look at the infrared close-up satellite images, not seeing much thunderstorms as represented by the greens, the blues, the yellows, oranges, right? Most of that is off to our south right here, because some thunderstorms associated with the trough are to our south and the east. So the high cold cloud tops are starting to be sheared off towards the northwest, as the upper level winds are shearing those cloud tops to that direction. And we definitely have confirmation. This live stream showing Crossroads in Kingston at around 12:05 p.m. And we can definitely see the rainfall that's affecting the hills of St. Andrew. You can see that it was definitely cloudy up there, while Crossroads definitely sunny for the most part. This was what I'm talking about. Majority of the clouds are definitely bringing the rainfall to the hills of St. Andrew, the hills of St. Mary, Portland, and the north coast in general. We can definitely make out the rainfall affecting the hills, while down here across Crossroads definitely sunny for the most part. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit See Jamaica on YouTube. They have these live streams all day, every day. Just open up your YouTube app or go on youtube.com on your computer and type in See Jamaica and subscribe so that you don't miss out, just in case they install a camera near you. If we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture of where we had the rainfall today, especially across the north coast for sure. Don't pay the south coast being shaded in colors any mind. Might not even be raining in your area, but it's shaded right here. You know, this map isn't 100% accurate, but it does paint quite a picture of where we had the rainfall today. And we definitely have the comment coming in. One right here from Courtney Love 1498. It's a beautiful, cool, cold, windy, overcast day, just the way I like it. We also have Ryan_Ryan stating, yes, glad for it. Katie and Martin R2H stating, the breeze nice in Central Village, loving it. Active 4081, yep. We also have Antonique Leachman 4504 stating, gale winds in St. Catherine, Old Harbor. Even on our Facebook page where the comments coming in, Sylvia Bando stating the rain falling. We also have Verona Burke stating, I love this weather. K Watto, rain a fall, breeze a blow. We also have Linda McFarlane, I live in Skibo and the rain is relentless today and last night. The road is now clear, but we're expecting it to be blocked again tonight. And we even have Fatanina stating, there's a lot of wind here on our Twitter page. Even Salima Mima stating, I thought it was clearing back up. Wind some faster, southeast. St. Elizabeth is windy and cold. CIA operative and Miffy tell you about the windy conditions. Brielle Patton, Mandeville, cold. Even on our Instagram page, we had the comments coming in. Jay's Studley stating rain in Monique from last night until now. That was 6 hours ago posted. Pretty Nika, Rainfall, Upper Lawrence Tavern from last night till now. We also have Christmas breeze of blue. I am loving it. From call underscore her underscore Toms 86. Asha underscore mother stating I love it. And we have jaded underscore JLo stating I'm loving it. R.Legister stating yeah man, so it fisty. Seat underscore Angeli, Mandeville freezing. Panton Javon Spanish Town breezy. So that indeed confirms the rainfall for today. And I even highlighted a video here from TVJ News, and they were speaking about the fact that there was, I believe, some amount, well, a landslide that took place in Portland. That was what they were highlighting because of the rainfall that took place on Tuesday. So if you want, you can go check it out. We predicted that this would happen with all of the rainfall and the saturated ground. I have a nice little report right here from TVJ News highlighting it, and you can see it for yourself. Just because your area is not receiving rainfall, that doesn't mean it's not raining somewhere across the island. And Portland is definitely getting it given all of the rainfall that's taking place. If we take a look here, the National Works Agency has highlighted some changes. They've stated roadway between Dumfries and Prospect in St. Thomas reduced to single lane access. The restriction will be in place for the next 10 business days between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. and is scheduled to end on December 17. And they highlighted that this was mainly due to the rainfall that took place. There was something in here that stated that it was because of the rainfall. Here we go. So they stated right here that from Portmore Bridge to Prospect, that's where the roadworks are being carried out, and they stated that with the cessation of recent rains, the contractor China Harbor Engineering Company is working aggressively to advance the progress of works prior to the Christmas season. So if you live or work in those areas, if you have friends or relatives who live and work in those areas, let them know that these areas are going to be a bit challenging to go through with the single lane access. We do have some good news here. It's nice to point out the good news sometimes. So we know that there has been a lot of rainfall and some brand new potholes have shown up. But it's nice to know that National Works Agency is doing some amount of patching on the roads. They've stated that patching along Linstead Bypass on Tuesday, and they've highlighted some pictures right here showing the patching work that was done. They also highlighted patching works along the Fatespin Main Road in St. Anne. So there you go. If you have friends or relatives in those areas, let them know that there are no more potholes in those spots. Unfortunately, there were some amount of sparks on the power lines that took place last night in St. James. According to this is a blast Instagram page right here, we can see the sparks right here flying and falling for sure, and I'm pretty sure that was due to the strong winds that they were experiencing across that part of the island. And we spoke about this. The strong winds from the system can definitely cause some amount of damage, if not down trees or power lines, definitely some spark from these power lines for sure. If we take a look at the latest satellite images, the latest still image that is showing 23:45 UTC. So considering that is 6:53 p.m. right now, this just came out 8 minutes ago. We're not seeing the clouds across the island, but they're definitely there somewhere across the island in those milky whitish colors. I wish they had the visible, but we know we need the sunlight to see the visible satellite imagery. But we do see some high cold cloud tops up to our southeast, the blues, the greens, the yellows. That's definitely representing some rainfall right there to the south of us, pushing those upper level winds towards the northeast. This latest Cuban Doppler radar image, the last one, just came out at 5:40, and we can definitely make out the rainfall that was affecting the waters to the south of eastern Jamaica. And I'm sure that this is definitely responsible for the upper level wind shear showing those high cold cloud tops to the southeast of the island. Excuse me. If we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban naval radar imagery, reloading these images, we can see some rainfall across eastern Cuba. Can't make out much of the rainfall elsewhere, but trust me, the rainfall is definitely affecting portions of Portland as we speak. Taking a look at the Cayman radar, not seeing much happening across western Jamaica. We do see some isolated sprinkles right there to the southwest of Grand Cayman. And if we take a look at the latest Barbican cam, not seeing much happening across Barbican at all. Definitely a smooth night, dry for sure. People in their vehicles going about their business. Nothing significant happening weather-wise. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can still have 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Thursday, temperature should dip down to about 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Thursday when calculated at 1 p.m. on Thursday, and we can see Jamaica right here embedded in more gray colors than anything else. I know the gray colors represent what we see on the key on the right, the average temperatures. So it's going to be average temperatures for Jamaica on excuse me, on Thursday. You know the average temperatures for the month of December around 87 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 30 degrees Celsius. But given the strong northeasterly flow that we're still going to be getting, I wouldn't be surprised if the temperatures are lower than that, especially across Manchester. I've heard that it went down to about 21 degrees Celsius today. That's crazy. According to Ricardo James, a friend of mine, was traversing that parish today. And we know the average temperature is definitely 30 degrees Celsius. So we could receive anywhere from 27 to 30, given the strong northeasterly flow that we're still experiencing. But especially on the other southern parishes, we could definitely get in on some more heat, maybe up to the 30 degrees Celsius for sure. And could definitely be exacerbated by the lack of electricity, because my GPS online is stating that for Thursday, December 5, there's going to be a maintenance outage on that Taylor, or is that Taylor Road? Is that a typo? Well, that area in St. Catherine between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. And also Watchwell to Kinkead in St. Elizabeth for the same date, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you live or work in those areas, or if you have friends or relatives who live or work in those areas, let them know that a power outage is coming their way. And if it's going to be a bit too hot for you, try to beat the heat with these tips. Seek shade when you're outside. Eat fresh. Try eating cold food such as salads and fruits. Rest. Make sure you get enough sleep, and rest if you're feeling tired. So take a cool shower or bath to help you cool down. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to always stay hydrated. Put away the sugary drinks. Drink water instead throughout the day, all day, every day. If we take a look at the dry air map, we can see the dry air is represented by what we see on the key on the bottom, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites within those reds. You can see a lot of dry air seeping into portion of the central Caribbean from the east, from the main development region. Lots of dry air to the north of the Caribbean, across the Gulf of Mexico, across the western Caribbean for sure. But we see that there's a lot of moist air all in here, especially to the south of Jamaica, associated with the trough and the frontal system across the island. Regarding the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Thursday, we can still see that all the browns represent the Saharan dust should be across the main development region right here, Jamaica right here in the clear for 2 p.m. on Thursday. And we're indeed glad that it's not that vigorous of a plume and it's not pushing westward like they usually do. We know the Saharan dust can definitely cause hazy skies, not to mention trigger some motor respiratory illnesses. And we're glad it's not coming our way and it's not as robust. But regarding the wave forecast, we still see a lot of purples to the south of the island. We know that represents 2 to 3 meter wave heights. The rest of the area may be getting on those blues that representing 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are starting to cool down a bit. Today we saw how strong they were. And we can see for tomorrow it's going to be coming in from the east, curving a bit west-southwest to the south of Jamaica, till coming in from the northeast across Jamaica, right there. But we see the flow of the winds, definitely from the northeast across the western Caribbean, from the east across the eastern Caribbean, averaging anywhere from 15 to 20 knots, maybe even gusting to 25 knots in some spots. And we see that regarding Jamaica, definitely a northeasterly flow still to come. Some more relief rainfall for northeastern parishes, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney, section of St. James, Hanover could definitely getting on the action. And even section of some southern parishes for sure. We'll see exactly what happens. Either way, the upper level winds, as stated earlier, still coming in from the southwest, so it could definitely favor more of the rainfall across northern Jamaica for sure. And regarding the actual rainfall forecast now, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing rainfall for 12 a.m. tonight. That's midnight tonight. We're seeing rainfall for especially northeastern parishes, St. Mary, Portland, maybe even spilling into sections of St. Thomas. And we see how robust the Euro is with those greens and yellows. Skipping ahead to 5 a.m. Not much change on the Euro or the GFS. Rainfall for St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, spilling into section of St. Thomas too. Skipping ahead now to about 9 a.m. The Euro and the GFS modes haven't changed at all. St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland still getting in on somewhat of a rainfall for sure. 2 p.m. we start to get in on some changes now. We're starting to see the rainfall still affecting northeastern parishes, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, but it's starting to also affect sections of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and the Euro. GFS, more so Kingston, St. Andrew, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, not so much Westmoreland. Either way, we see that there's consensus for some afternoon rainfall across sections of some southern parishes, so look out for that. Then by 5 p.m., clearing out on the south coast, excuse me, according to the Euro, clearing out on the south coast. The GFS still having some blues represent rainfall across the southern portion of the island. But what we see the consensus showing is rainfall still going to be plaguing northern Jamaica for sure. Even by 10 p.m. we still see northern Jamaica being plagued by rainfall. We're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Still going to be getting a some amount of rainfall. We can see the accumulated precipitation forecast for the next 24 hours showing a lot of rainfall still to come, especially on the Euro, with all of those dark reds, purples, pinks. That represents the 2 all the way up to maybe 5 inches of rainfall in some spots. Very interesting according to the Euro. GFS definitely a bit more reserved, showing all the way up to maybe 2 inches of rainfall at most for a portion of northeastern Jamaica. And clearly, we are exceeding the amount of rainfall for the month of December, especially on the north coast. I'm sure if we take a look at what Portland or St. Mary usually receives throughout the year from weatherandclimate.com, we'll see the bar graph showing that. But in Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 25 millimeters of rainfall. That's 1 inch. In Montego Bay, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the bottom, we usually receive close to 4 inches. That's almost 100 millimeters. That's what, 90 millimeters of rainfall. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives throughout the year in terms of rainfall, you can visit weatherandclimate.com and they'll show you that information. And you can use this nice little graphic right here that converts rainfall from millimeters to inches. You know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have the clouds associated with the frontal systems, bringing some amount of overcast skies, if not some isolated showers, to sections of the Bahamas, eastern Cuba, heated Dominican Republic, all the way down into Honduras, Belize, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, let's see what's happening over there near Puerto Rico. Alright, so we can definitely see some rainfall to the west of Puerto Rico, affecting section of the northeastern portion of the Dominican Republic. Not seeing much rainfall across the Leeward Islands, but if we load these images from about 1:20 p.m. today, section of central western Puerto Rico definitely gotten somewhat of rainfall. Not seeing much rainfall across the Leeward Islands throughout the day. But if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we can see some rainfall to the north of Barbados pushing west towards Dominica and Martinique. Some rainfall definitely lashing portion of St. Vincent this afternoon. Maybe Grenadines as well. Maybe east of Grenada. Some of that could definitely make it there. Not seeing much happening across Trinidad and Tobago right now. But if we load these images, well, if we look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, you can see some heavy rainfall coming into section of northern Nicaragua still. Some rainfall still affecting section of the ABC Islands as we speak. And regarding where the rainfall is expected in the next 24 hours, both of these maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Thursday. And we can see the most rainfall should be across eastern Cuba, northern Haiti, northern Dominican Republic, northeastern Jamaica, northern Honduras, eastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica, section of Panama, while we have some other rainfall, more so on the isolated side, for sections of Colombia, northwestern Venezuela, southern Venezuela, section of coastal areas of Guyana, We also see rainfall in store for sections of maybe Trinidad and Tobago, isolated shores that is, section of Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, also Dominica, Guadeloupe, maybe Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bart's, section of St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, the US and British Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and we see still we have a lot more rainfall to come for northern Haiti and Dominican Republic as well. I know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.